Hi, welcome to a video of my record show finds for Saturday, October 18th, 2025. Not sure it's going to fit in one video. We'll see how much I talk. Yeah, I spent the whole day, just like I did last April 26th, to this specific record fair, and paid the $15 early bird entry for 9 o'clock instead of paying less for 10 o'clock, because it's the only place so far I've been. I don't go to record fairs usually, where I don't have time to see all the records for sale, so I have to keep moving. I do stop to eat a little bit. I took a break for 20 minutes. I arrive very early. I get up at 5:15. It opens at 9, but I arrived there around 5 to 7 downtown, just to get a good parking spot, because there's like 3 parking spots around in the area. It's almost no parking space. And I like to go back in the car to drop some records and eat my lunch. That I buy a quick lunch. So first purchase, another copy, because I know I bought this already, but it was far from perfect. This is a better copy, although I didn't see the scratches too well, because it's in the basement of a church, and there's some neon lights on the ceiling. Sometimes you only get a little smidge of light, and you make mistakes sometimes. So vanilla fudge. But I think it's the best copy I have so far. I'm not going to bother buying another copy, unless it's a reissue of a better condition, a better quality, because it seems that Atlantic and Atco and Atlantic LPs made in Canada in 60s, sorry, the sound is often very low, and the smallest problem on the record, anyway. That was $5. Then there's other seller that actually I see usually at the local flea market. I saw him get a bunch of records before me and my friend Coffee, so I had time to look over his shoulder and see what he was flipping, and that's the only record I saw passing by a fraction of a second I knew I wanted. And I expected it to be not too expensive, because I had time to read Hot Chocolate and see the ringware. So when I saw that seller the following week, he didn't bring the recent finds, but he said he would bring them at the fair. So I saw him. I asked him if he had it. He said yes, in the $5 boxes. I said yes, $5. So yes, this is Hot Chocolate. No, just Hot Chocolate. That's I don't know if it's their second album or maybe third album, but at least second album. It's the one with You Sexy Thing on it. I just collect their records. I just love. I have a best of on CD, and many over 40 years ago I bought the Cicero Park for 49 cents at Discus with a hole in the corner, brand new, and there was Disco Queen on it. I really loved it, and I knew You Sexy Thing. So I tried to find more records by Hot Chocolate, but I don't come across them very often. So I was glad to get this for just $5. So that gave a good start to my day. Then I walk, and then some sellers I was hoping to see were not there. The guy from Quebec City who cleans with a machine all the records, and he grades them properly, even conservatively, and he has reasonable prices. All his records are on plastic bags. Well, he wasn't there. So that was a big disappointment. But I did find some guy selling 45s. Not enough people bring good 45s at that fair, but he had like 3 or 4 boxes at various prices, some at $1, but I've missed a lot because some guy had a huge stack and I missed it by a few minutes. Still got some cool ones. So the pile added up to $22. He made a rebate I've asked him like how much for the stack, and he made me a little rebate. He asked for $19 because he was looking for change. I gave him the exact change. So this first few records were $1, so it comes to 86 cents. I wasn't sure if I had this or not, so I took it. Don't Worry About It by Jimmy Bohorn. Music to Make Love by on the Alston label. So this is a US pressing, because in Canada it was on RCA. If that one was released at least, but because I know Gimme Some was on RCA, it was. So then we have still at 86 cents. Made in Germany, a German pressing of Elton John, The Last Song, 1992. That side is 1992, The Last Song, that side is 1985, The Man Who Never Died. French rock and roll, 45, a little few little scratches, but something I never see. I never heard of this band. Le Temps des Rêves by the Spectars. Hong Kong Express, this is the cool side actually. Couldn't find it on YouTube. I wanted to listen to, well, I could play it too, but I'm lazy. Still in the 86 cent pile. Bang Shangalang, Claude Charon, arrangement orchestre de Serge Blouin, Pierre Laurent, production. It's hard to find a bad record on this label. Some labels had some cool records, and that's one of them that we said. Another one is coming up in a few seconds. So I think it's a Bang Shangalang. Is that a? I think it's a Archie's song. Je suis berger, original. So in good shape. 86 cents. Another 86 cents record. And that one I was glad to find. N'y pense plus, c'était l'été. Jocelyne Pascal. I have a Jocelyne Pascal record. I don't remember which one. I don't have this one, but it's a Stéphane Venn composition. I love Stéphane Venn. He passed away recently. He was a big name in Quebec. He made a lot of great songs. And La Fugue, Eleanor, the Turtles. So it's a French cover of a Turtles song. And if I recall, it was in great shape. Yeah, no scratches. This, I was so happy I let out a happy yelp. I've been looking for an upgrade of the copy I bought new back in 1981 when I was 13 years old at a liquidation sale at a record store, and I bought one copy of every single 45 the guy had, the record store had, brand new old stock 45s at 5 cents each, and this is one of them. And I played the hell out of it on a bad stereo with a BSR record changer and a Crayola crayon on top of the arm so it wouldn't skip. So there's a lot of needle drop marks at the beginning of the record, but there's some sort of static noise going at the beginning. I never managed to clean it. When I digitized this 45 several years ago, I was unable to clean that sound out of that noise out of the record. So this one is just a little bit dusty, it needs cleaning, but I think it will play better. So this is Games by Red Eye with collections of yesterday and now. The thing is that I found the LP and it's a different mix, and I was really pissed off when I played the LP, because I knew I had to find a 45, and I might have encountered a copy in the past years, but it was beat up. So I was so happy to find this for 86 cents, well, $1 when I found it. And then we get this one was $2, so I paid $1.73. Les lutins à motocyclette et la jeunesse d'aujourd'hui. Unable to remember if I have it or not. So I'd rather lose $2 than regret leaving a record behind. So I'm glad I got it. This is interesting because I thought it was a different version or an original version of a song that a friend of mine and myself are looking for or interested in, because we saw some streamer on YouTube showed a kitschy video clip of a song by let me go to my computer here, and I forgot to prepare the screen, so sorry about that. I thought this record by Thierry Martin, E.T. Tu es mon ami, was the original version of a cover perhaps of Marilyn, E.T. T'es mon ami. I vaguely remember that she wrote E-T-I-T-I phonetically in French here, T'es mon ami, thinking it was the same composition, but it's not. This is by Germain, oh my goodness, so small, Germain Gauthier. So it's a totally different song, and actually this record came out 1 year later, 1983. Well, this one is in 1982. So at first, when I realized that earlier tonight, I was a little bit disappointed, but I kept going with my research. This Maguilin record, I don't have that one, by the way. It's just hard to find. I did find a one warped copy at the flea market. I left it behind, unplayable. Well, this goes for about how much? The median is about $12.07. Last copy sold on October 11th of this year for how much again? 21 Canadian dollars. Okay, yeah, right. So I checked my record. Now, my record is Thierry Martin. E.T. Tu es mon ami. He's a child drummer. I don't have the picture seen, unfortunately. And we have on the, so yeah, that's how I found out he's a drummer, a kid drummer. And he wrote the lyrics himself, right here. And we see the record I have here. The other side is La Batterie d'Espace. This is a better record. You cannot find E.T. Tu es mon ami on YouTube. It's not there. This side is there. That's pretty good. This actually goes for up to $69.99. The median is way much higher than the other one, $31.50, and the last copy sold 4 years ago, and the copy that sold 4 years ago was 28, I think. Yeah, this is a curve. It sold for $28 with no a generic sleeve like mine. I got this for $3 minus the rebate. Actually came to $2.59. But my goal is not to try to get records for less. It's fun, it's great, it's like a cherry on top, but I like the record. I like this better than the E.T. T'es mon ami record. But the thing is that the E.T. T'es mon ami, on the streaming, me and my friend, we saw the video clip. It's really kitschy, and it's not on YouTube, I think. The owner of the video clip doesn't want to upload it to stay there. Because it has rare stuff in the so there we go. So that was I talked too much. Sorry about that. I love records too much. And the last 3 45s were 3 Serge Gainsbourg 45s, and I'm really excited about the next one. But this already is great. This was $3, so that came down to $2.59. Very reasonable. Oh, I just said that amount. So this is Love on the Beat, from the album Love on the Beat, 1984. But this is pretty cool because this is a single version, 3 minutes 57 seconds. I have the LP on vinyl. I have the CD because I have the complete box set, and it's over 8 minutes long. So it's cool to have the 45. I don't know if the Sorry Angel on the other side is a shorter version or the same length. It's in very clean shape. I said, whoa, yes, the guy has some good. Some were I left behind, same box, same seller. I left behind a whole lot of French Canadian 60s stuff that I didn't know what it was. It was just interesting, but it was too expensive for me. But he had some under the radar like that. This he had 2 copies. I almost regret not buying both, because I really, to keep one aside, not play it at all, and the other one I could play every day if I wanted to. But I only took the cleanest. Well, I had to really inspect them closely and try to figure out which one is perfect or almost perfect. I think both were. It was down to the smallest scuff. So this is what the hell is it? Okay, well, first of all, it's $3, same price, $2.59 with the rebate. La Micaouette and the Cadavre Exquis, a sample, not for sale, échantillon vente interdite sticker on both copies were back to back. And the only copy I've ever found is a beat up, scratched up, warped at 2 places copy that I bought for a few pennies that I still have in my collection, and that's it. And that's why I should have bought the 2 copies, to have one spare one to play. Now I'm afraid to play this on anything than my Lin Axis because it's in perfect shape. And the big deal is that, well, both songs are great. I love both songs, but these are 2 non-album tracks. So the only way you can hear these songs in analog sound is to have this 45. I have a box set on CD, but it's not the same thing. So yeah, I was very excited. What's really cool is that a little bit later I met my friend Coffee was there, and I told him that we started showing some of our finds. And although the previous week we said we wouldn't do that, not to waste any time, but couldn't resist. And I told him, I showed him this record, and I said there were a second copy, and I recommended it to him. So he went and bought the other copy. So both copies went to both of us, and this one I was happy to find. Charlotte Gainsbourg and of course Serge Gainsbourg, Lemon Incest, one of my top 10 favorite Serge Gainsbourg songs, with picture sleeve. French pressing from France, $5 yes please, yes, even though I have the 2 tracks on this Love on the Beat album. And little parenthesis, I got the Canadian first pressing of that album from 1984 with the shrink wrap still on it. I mean, it's still sealed, no deletion hole in it, in a estate sale for $4. Oh my god. It's still sealed. I'm afraid to open it. So yeah, so this it's the other side is which is pretty good. The whole album is pretty good actually. And that one comes to $4.32. So such a low price for what it is. I'm so glad. That pile made me happy. It was hard not to look at what the other guy was dropping on his pile. He was standing up with a few records at a time. He was dropping them like bloop, bloop, bloop. He was mostly getting American stuff that I didn't know the titles to. I always aim for the French stuff because I find stuff like that sometimes. So after this stack of 45s, I got, oh yeah, that was a bittersweet experience. The seller was nice. I left bittersweet because I left behind a record, and I wasn't even home yet, and I regretted leaving it behind. I would have gotten a better deal have I added a 5th record to the stack. I'll tell you what I got, and then I'll tell you what it is that I left behind. And I really should have bought it. Anyway, maybe I'll explain. So I got 4 records that totaled how much? $51. I can't read myself. It's so badly written. What the heck did I write here? Huh? Oh, there we go. Number 4. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, the total $51. I got it. He was like, I couldn't. I made a maximum price for the 4 titles in my head. And when he said 45, I said, yes, that's exactly my ceiling price that I put my maximum. So we met right at the right price, so $45. So what is it that I got? He said, first of all, this. He said he added that to the crate just before he left home. So that was the only interesting children record in the entire record fair, and almost nobody brings children's records. So aside from the off-model ugly artwork, although the line work, I can't do clean lines like that, but I'm sure I can draw them more on model than that with visual reference, of course. This is a 1977 box set of reissues in fake stereo of 1960s Hanna-Barbera records. I know because I knew what the label would be just before opening it. When I saw the year, I recognized the style of the off-model cover, because they also re-released some with new covers with the same artist, various Hanna-Barbera records. I remember buying, it was expensive, I got screwed at that time, many years ago, a reissue of the Jetsons album. Anyways, and that was a label. So what we have here is how many records again? I forget. 5 records. 5 records. Flintstones, Yogi Bear and Boo Boo, Huckleberry Hound. I think there's a reflection. I should change the angle. Huckleberry Hound. Record 3, Magilla. Is it Magilla? Magilla Gorilla. Pixie and Dixie with Mr. Jinx. Snagglepuss, I wanted to have Snagglepuss here. Wilma Flintstone, Doggy Daddy and Oggy Doggy, and record 5 is a whole bunch of them, but I think it's children's songs. Snagglepuss there. Pebbles, Dum Dum, I'm not familiar with Dum Dum's English voice, only the French one, Tushy Turtle, Jetsons. Anyway, all the records are clean. They look unplayed. So this was, he didn't price it, probably because he dropped it he added it to the cart at the last second that morning. He looked at it and said 15. And so that comes down, because of my rebate, the total was 51, got it down to 45. That one comes down to $13.24, and there's 5 records in there. That's less than $3 each. And I forgot to mention, the box is in pretty great shape, because I've seen on Discogs they're often beat up. This is really clean. I'm really happy about this. For children's records, I collect Hanna-Barbera stuff, and where I live, they're hard to find. You don't come across Hanna-Barbera records very often, and they're often beat up. This was interesting. Decided to try it. Not my best purchase of the day. In the Heat of the Night soundtrack, Quincy Jones with one title song by Ray Charles. Record is in good shape. However, the recording is really low volume, so it's not the best quality sound. But the record is in okay shape. $10, so that came down to, let me see here. I'd like to check how much I pay for stuff. The $10 record. I can't read myself. Oh, there it is. Okay, $8.82. The cover is in nice shape. You try to hide the deletion hole as if it was a bad thing. We're familiar with deletion holes. Don't have to try to hide them. This, I really hesitated because there was one scuff that I couldn't figure out if I would hear it or not. And the scuff is through Use Me. This is Grace Jones, Night Clubbing. That's the next one I wanted to find by her. I don't aim on owning all of her records, but the 70s and early 80s stuff, that one was the next one I wanted to find, and I found it. Record cover is a little bit, has seen some better days, but like I said, the record, I've tested it and we don't hear the scratch. I was so happy. It was marked 8, and I got it down, so that comes to $7.05. So I've played the whole thing, and it's so good. What a good album! Oh my goodness! And because you see, many years ago, over 40 years ago, I got a deletion cell revealed record box in a record store in my town over 40 years ago. For 25 cents, I got a US pressing of the 45 Feel Up with Use Me on the other side. So I knew, and Feel Up is so good. When I got to that song, I cranked the volume up. It's so good. The whole record is amazing. Yeah, she's unique. I really love Grace Jones, and especially that record. And finally, I got my copy of Shake Your Booty by Zappa. There were 3 copies across the fair. Although the one I saw after that one should have been the one I bought, because on another table I found one for $20 cleaner than this. Another guy had a clean copy, but it was 25 or 30. Yeah, it was 30, I think. So, but it turns out that this is I think for me it's the best purchase, because it turns out that the inner sleeves are not too damaged, and the records, although a few scuffs here and there, they all play fine, no bad scratches anywhere. And yeah, not his rarest one, but yo mama, that title. So that $18 album comes down to, with my rebate, to $15.88. So that's pretty cool. Finding this at $15 at the flea market, I would be like, wow! So $15, just a few pennies more than $15. That's great. And the record I left behind, and I would have had an even better deal overall, was a reissue of Herbie Mann's not Herbie Mann's, Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes' first album. But instead of the one with the top hat in his hand, I know the cover because I have the CD. It was a reissue with some artwork of him on Atlantic from 1972. 5 years later, it was $15. I really am stupid of leaving it behind. My mindset was I don't want to buy it, especially at that price. If I know I'll have to buy the original when I find the original. That was my argument in my head when I was thinking. Well, I still regret because how long will it take to find it? I might never find the original. I don't know how rare it is or not. And because I always see the same Isaac Hayes albums, I'm getting a harder and harder time finding the ones I'm missing at the right price and with the right conditions. So I kind of regret not buying that. That's the one record I left behind that I regret. So after these, what did we get after these? I'm gonna make sure that they don't fall over because of the stack of 45s. Let's put this here. Are we done? Oh my goodness, 26 minutes. I think I'll show you two more. Oh yeah, I'll show you two more records, and it will cut right after at the moment I went to lunch. So that's perfect. So we'll have the AM on one video and the PM on the other video. So yeah, I found this. Phew. Yeah, I finally own this. I collect Brigitte Bardot records, although they're scarce. You don't find many of her records. So this is the soundtrack to Viva Maria with Jeanne Moreau and Brigitte Bardot. Apparently, there were some tension between them when they shot the movie, but it was marked $25, and I had to get this. It's a very short album, barely 22 minutes long total. It's a soundtrack of Je vous aime, music by Serge Gainsbourg. And I had to get this because, well, the record is in perfect shape. One of my top 10 favorite Gainsbourg songs is right here, Je pense que, full of puns about dogs. And La Fautive is also a very catchy song. It's just some good songs on it, not many songs at all, but and some are instrumental, some are sung by there's two Gérard Depardieu performances with the band Bijou, but there were Serge Gainsbourg songs. So that was $30. It was not marked here, and the price was inside because, no, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say why the price was inside. But I did ask him why was this one more expensive than that one, because that one is to me more rare than this one. He said it's because these Gainsbourg sells in the States, and he sells records sometimes in the States. So great. So anyway, I managed. I didn't want to pay 30 and 25. So it's just a little bit out of my range of how much I want to pay for a record and be happy with my purchase when I get home. I managed to get, where's the price I paid? Yeah, that it was so nice, because I wanted to pay 45. So he only from 55 went down to 50, and then I played some little tiniest fiddle in the world. I don't know what you call that. I got it for 45. It was really sweet. The seller was sweet. So $45 for both. So that comes down to $24.55 for this one, and $20.45 for this amazing record here. And they sing a few songs as a duet. Bardot and Moreau vocal. Paris, Paris, Paris. Actually, 3 songs. Les Petites Femmes and Maria, Maria. They sing 3 songs. So, and then I went to eat my lunch in the car at 1 p.m. And 9, 10, 12, 4 hours to find these records. It's a crate digging non-stop. So, stick around for part 2, and thanks for watching.